thing is that the changes come through attention. This is something I find very profound about somatic work in particular, or any exercise, any sort of traditional approach. When you're bringing a soft attention, your body starts to pick up it's being observed by you. Does that make sense? So if I have a muscle tension here, and I start to just bring a soft attention to it, what often can happen, it's not necessary because this is relational and you've got to relate to what happens, is as that muscle feels that soft observation, it starts to pulsate, or it starts to just shift, or it might tighten up even more, but some change happens. And then it starts to soften. And I think ultimately we as human beings, we are craving to be almost cherished and watched and observed. You know, what's ihsan in the famous hadith of Jibreel? To worship Allah as if He sees you. Sorry, and ta'budullah ka'annaka tarah. Sorry, the other way around. To worship Allah as if you see Him, but know that even if you can't do that, know that He sees you. So there's this observation, and it can start, like you might not feel Allah's presence, you can start off with your presence and inculcating presence. And Gabor Mate has a very interesting theory about ADHD. He said he feels that some of it comes is because, well, you know, when you're a baby, babies crave to be observed and to be almost that soft watching. They're like delight in it if you see them. Like you just say, hey, yeah, and they're like, hey, you know, they're having a field day. And then when you move away, when they feel that drifting away of the attention, they start to feel distress. Have you ever seen children do that? They're craving that. That's what they need. And so often, you know, but our attention is being pulled left, right, and due to the stresses. It's not to shame people. You know, life is stressful, and even when we are present, we can't be present because we. But if we don't get presence, we can't be present. Does that make sense? So those children grow up lacking that presence because of the society. It's just very hard to parent. And so we struggle, and now with all these extra contraptions, like attracting our attention, we really struggle to be present with ourselves. And so I think ultimately one of the core ways that we crave, and it's part of our humanity, is observation and feeling witnessed. And just that exercise, and be curious about how you struggle with that. And it's not about forcing it, because you can't force it. That's the problem. That's the problem with a lot of mindfulness exercises, is it's like bring it back. But that can actually irritate your nervous system, bringing it back. And some people, I remember one Irishman, he said, I went to a silent retreat. And he said it was torture. He says, we bond by talking, us Irish people. He says, that wasn't relaxing. That wasn't even therapeutic. He said it was like having to go through trauma again. He says, we bond through the talking. And so that's why when you're doing any approach, it's got to be relational. And you've got to see, do I connect with it? Do I open up with it? And that's one of the first signs that there's something here that's actually helpful for you, rather than, well, I've heard mindfulness is helpful, and so I should be doing it, and I'm just not doing it right. And then you go down that narrative of I'm useless and I can't do it.